Missing Persons Unit.
I know he's around the age of 19.
The trail for 13-year-old Jessica Smith leads here.
Just you two guys here?
And her mum, Caroline, has reached breaking point.
If the laws were that I could have a gun, I'd have a gun.
And the disappearance of bushwalker Allan Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy could be 20 yards up there and you could miss him.
Lost in the scrub or have fires engulfed him.
Still hoping we just had to fall on a track and somebody would find him.
And the emotional search for baby Carla's dad.
Come home or let us know that you're all right.
Good morning, everyone. Great to see the rain, wasn't it? Hope it continues.
The officers in the New South Wales missing persons are today
17 cases still
as
outstanding.
busy as ever.
Leah, we've got one for you from Maitland up in the Lower Hunter area.
Senior Constable Leah Wilson gets the case of Anthony White. He disappeared 2 weeks ago after having an argument with his de facto.
Wife's a bit concerned because this man has some health concerns.
No worries.
If you can look at that one for us.
Thanks, Sarge.
Doug, we've got a 74-year-old man who's gone missing in the Blue Mountains.
Constable Doug McIntyre is assigned the case of bushwalker Allan Kennedy. Allan's family reported him missing after his car was found abandoned on a cliff in a national park.
He normally tells his family if he's going to be away, but this time he didn't contact them.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Mandy and Gary are out on the road today. They've gone to see Carol, who's Jessica Smith's mum. She's been gone now for 5 days and mum's really, really worried.
Mandy believes her missing 13-year-old schoolgirl is holed up somewhere in the mountains with a group of much older men.
They'll keep us updated throughout the day. Cool. OK, that's it from me, guys. Have a great day.
Good morning, it's Constable Wilson from the Missing Persons Unit in Sydney. Can I speak to Nicole,
Leah
please?
is talking to his de facto, Nicole, who reported Anthony missing.
I just want to get a few more bits of information. I've been passed this case on and I'm actually quite concerned about Anthony.
Yeah.
Now, just to clarify, he left not long after the two of you had had an argument, is that right?
Yeah.
The report also says that he's been a little bit depressed, is that right?
Oh, he had, a little bit, he's been down a bit, yeah.
Because obviously we're very worried and we're going to do all we can to assist you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll be seeing you shortly. Okay then, bye-bye. I've just spoken to Nicole, who's the partner of Anthony. Apparently his attitude's changed over the last couple of weeks. He's been crying and a bit depressed. We have no reason as to why he's done that. But at this stage, no one has heard from Anthony in the last 2.5 weeks, including his employer. So I'm going to head up to Maitland now and work in with local police and see if we can locate Anthony.
On our last program, Mandy Gale began her search for missing 13-year-old Jessica Smith.
Jessica's mum is extremely worried at this point. You know, we believe she's in the mountains with her boyfriend and his 5 mates.
Jessica's mum, Caroline, raised the alarm after not hearing from her daughter for 4 days.
13 years old up in the mountains with 5 guys, it's not a good thing. So we're out to see mum. She's really distressed.
Caroline believes she knows where Jessica is. But when Mandy arrives at the family home...
Hi, Carolyn. How you going?
How you going?
Jessica's mum has some bad news. She's talked with Jessica's older sister, Taylor, who says Jessica has now left the mountain hideaway.
And she said the boys that were in Katoomba have actually moved.
Does she have any idea where they may have gone there?
No.
But Caroline thinks Jessica's still in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. That's where she found her the last time she ran away, only a week ago.
Oh, we actually went up and tricked her into the car.
Was that in Katoomba?
Yeah.
She was there with the same bloke, was she?
Yep.
Do you know much of this chap?
I know nothing of him. I know he's a blonde-headed boy and he's around the age of 19.
Leah and Steve have now driven 2 hours north of Sydney to speak with Anthony's de facto, Nicole.
Hello.
How you going?
G'day.
I'm Leah. How are you? Nicole? This is Steve.
G'day, Nicole. How are you?
Persons Unit in Sydney. Hello.
Nicole and baby Carla moved in here with her mum and granddad after Anthony disappeared.
We've done the best to look after him during the time. It's been hard for her.
Anthony, seen here on a family holiday, had been arguing with Nicole more and more since their daughter Carla was born.
Is there any reason why you waited a little while to report it?
I thought he'd come back, yeah. At least to get some clothes. Because I've got clothes on the veranda at home, and at least I thought he'd come and get some clothes, but...
Is there anywhere that he might go to have a few drinks with his mates?
No.
No?
What about any hobbies?
No.
Did he have a mobile phone? No. Okay. When at your home, did he ever have any numbers programmed into the phone?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
He's a very secluded type of fellow. He doesn't really have any friends or anything, so...
Okay, he's never mentioned any names of any people that he works with?
No.
Anthony left
What I'd
no
like from
clues
you is to
behind,
have consent,
and the family
right?
puts his
What we do
disappearance
with that, not only
down
the
to his
police
state of
database.
mind.
He was a little bit depressed a couple of weeks prior to this happening, but besides that, he just seemed his normal self.
Gary and Mandy arrive at St Mary's Police Station, where it's confirmed 13-year-old Jessica and her boyfriend have already fled.
He said that house is actually known for a lot of people frequenting, so he said DJ may not necessarily live there but may frequent there a lot.
And because I'd say the police had been round there once or twice anyway, if she was there, I'd say they said, well, let's get out
Well,
of here.
apparently when the day shift...
If Gary's right, it's back to square one for police. And for Jessica's mum, it'll be another frightening night.
If anyone has seen this little girl, please contact police and let them know where she is. Give them any information you've got, please. Jess, if you're hearing this, come home.
Meanwhile, in Maitland, Leah and Steve hope Anthony's elderly dad might know where he is.
Yes, hello, I'm after Ken White, please.
I'm speaking.
Yeah, Ken, my name's Steve McAllister from the Police Missing Persons Unit at Parramatta. How are you?
I haven't seen Anthony for nearly 12 months.
For almost 12 months you haven't heard from him?
No. What the problem is that he went on to drugs and he done the dirty on me, you know?
Yep.
Funny was. And that's the reason why I haven't seen him.
OK then. Mate, if you do happen to hear from him,
Yeah.
can you just let him know that we're looking for him, we're concerned about him? And if he can come into a police station for us? He's not in any trouble, mate, we just want to make sure he's OK.
Okay.
OK then, thanks very much.
Very much.
See you, Ken. Bye.
Bye.
Hasn't heard from him?
No, hasn't heard from him for over 12 months.
Back at the Missing Persons Unit,
Hey, Tyler, how you going?
Gary's now calling Jessica's sister Taylor, who reckons she knows where her little sister is.
Want to find her?
Yeah, that's right. You're being frank with us because your mother's sort of starting to think, you know, that maybe you're holding something back. That's not the case.
Oh, it's not. My mum's like that all the time.
Taylor gives them an address, a hot new lead.
Well, they're saying Winshead.
But Winshead Street is not listed.
That's the only thing that comes close to it. Winifred Lane.
It's the closest match.
Now, just in relation to that, Jessica.
Yeah.
While Gary gets the police in the mountains over there quickly, at home, Caroline's anger is building at the thought of Jessica with a much older bloke.
If the laws were that I could have a gun, I'd have a gun. Because, yeah, she's a baby.
Back in Maitland, north of Sydney, the search for missing dad Anthony White is intensifying.
I'm Constable Wilson from the Missing Persons Unit in Sydney. How are you going?
Steve McAllister. How are you, Jason?
Following the tip-off from Anthony's dad about drugs, undercover police are now on the case.
Since last night, police have interviewed a couple of witnesses. We've had 2 confirmed sightings on the bus, getting on at the courthouse at Maitland and High Street, getting off the bus near Maitland Hospital. We don't have any other information apart from that.
And they're from two different persons?
That's correct.
Okay, fantastic.
2 confirmed sightings in the same area in 24 hours. So police decide to check his home one more time.
His clothes are still here that Nicole left out for him.
Just 3 weeks.
So he hasn't been back here by looks. This case is getting very frustrating at the moment. Every lead just seems to be getting nowhere. So we're just going to have to try and dig up some more.
We now know he has no finances. He has no identification on him. We're now becoming very concerned about Anthony.
So concerned, they decide to launch a local media campaign. Meanwhile, in the hunt for 13-year-old Jessica Smith and her 19-year-old boyfriend DJ, the search has moved back to the Blue Mountains, where local police are following up the lead from Jessica's sister.
G'day, mate. How you going? Good, mate. Is this unit 2 or 3? Mate, you mind if you come out here?
How many people are It's just you 2 guys here, or?
Mate, making inquiries into a missing persons, young girl, 13-year-old, Jessica Smith. Information that tells us that she's staying here at the moment. Jessica Smith.
They're denying the 13-year-old is here.
What was your name?
Johnny.
Johnny? What's your name?
DJ.
DJ?
DJ.
Mate, you mind if we come and have a look?
They've found Jessica's boyfriend.
There's definitely no one else in here?
Just you 2 guys?
Just he's had a girlfriend.
And what's your girlfriend's name? DJ? What's her name?
Jess.
He said Jess.
Yeah?
But just a moment ago, he said he'd never heard of her.
Do you want to just
Is that who's in the shower?
Yeah.
Yep, mate, you just want to grab her until I come out of the shower. Just throw some clothes on for us.
There's no dramas, guys.
Well, looks like we found DJ.
And 13-year-old Jessica is hiding in the bathroom. Back at the missing persons unit.
Hi, Gary.
Only hours after Anthony's picture appeared in the papers, the phones are running hot.
I seen a person in the middle of the highway in front of the dam.
This caller says he saw him near a local lake a few days ago.
And that he looked a bit sort of homeless, you know.
It's the exact spot where Anthony abandoned his work truck 3 weeks before.
But I wasn't looking for him because I didn't know he was missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's
But
understandable.
if I would have sort of known, I could have went back.
Okay, then.
And that's what Leah's doing, going back to Maitland to search the area around the lake. In a hideaway in the mountains, police have finally caught up
Mr. Smith, how you going?
with Jessica Smith.
Oh, there she is.
Mate, you're missing. Well, not now, because we found you. Is they're going to come with us now, all right? Because you're only 16, you're not supposed to be away from home without people knowing, all right? So if you want to grab a bag full of stuff, clothes if you have to, and you can come with us back to the family.
I was about to go back.
Sorry?
I was about to go back to St Mary's.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. We'll give you a lift.
We'll give you a free ride, mate.
Come on.
She's a
Grab some clothes.
13-year-old schoolgirl living with this man.
But how long's Jessica been here for?
Not that long, she's got it today.
Yeah, how'd you
DJ
know?
claims it's only been 1 day.
How long
But
ago?
with her stuff all over the house, it looks like she's been here much longer.
Is that pretty much it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, grab your stuff.
So just weekends for how long?
Annette and Adrian's next step is to find out why Jessica ran off.
Thanks for your cooperation, guys. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Okay. All the best.
Meanwhile, in the hunt for missing dad Anthony White, Leah is delivering some hopeful news to his de facto.
Hello. Nice to see you again. Good, thanks. How have you been feeling, Nicole?
Oh, yes, so.
All right, well, somebody's rang up and believed that they've seen him. All right, does that make you feel a bit better? Okay. So based on that, we need to go to the area where he was last seen, all right, and we're going to use several police officers, show this picture around, and hopefully somebody can point us in the direction, all right? You feeling a bit better?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Yeah? Look, I really understand how hard it is.
And I hope that when we locate Anthony, the two of you can sit down and tell him how you're feeling about what he's put you through.
Yep.
All right, because it's a very difficult time for you. I do understand that completely. All right? Look, sweetheart, I understand, and our primary goal at the moment is to find Anthony safe and well. All right? Everything can be fixed. We just have to find him and know that he's okay. All right? Because at this stage, if say by chance, all right, he's seen the picture, he might think that he's in trouble, or he might think that he's created all these problems and possibly may not come out of hiding for another couple of days.
Trouble or not,
Is there any
Nicole's mum and granddad want Anthony to realise what he's doing to his family.
Your family are worried about you. Your father has got some heart problems at the moment. You already know that your mother's ill. Contact someone.
Back in the mountains,
Hi, Jessica.
police are questioning teenage runaway Jessica Smith. But to her, it's all just one big joke.
We're just a little bit concerned about what you've been up to. Don't burn your tongue. Be shocking.
If I get it back, I'll give it to you.
Give it here.
Do I get it back?
All right, you can have it back later. Give it here. Joke.
We've just been a bit concerned about you. We're talking on the way home in the car about how long you've been away from home for. When did you leave? When were you last with Mum?
I know.
Did you get on with Mum okay?
I know.
This is what
say you
police
had
deal
six,
with
so
every day.
you're
Runaways
the youngest, the
who
oldest,
just
middle?
don't care.
Well, how come you don't get on?
She's older. She don't understand things.
Yeah. Do you want to speak to your mum?
Why?
We just want to tell her that we've actually found you. And you're safe and well because she's frantic.
Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah?
I don't care.
You don't care? Well, how about I give her a ring? I'll have a chat to her first and then we'll put you on and she might want to say a few things to you.
Whatever.
Well,
Get the blower off her.
But Adrian won't leave Jessica
here.
on her own
I'm gonna
while she
forcefully take it
still
from her.
has that lighter.
Will I get it back?
I'll give it back.
Give me the lighter.
I will give it back to you. I have no reason why I want a lighter. Thank you.
I better get it back.
Oh, I'll give it back.
Back at Missing Persons headquarters, another case is ramping up.
Oh, is it Mr. Allan Kennedy?
Yep.
Mr. Kennedy, it's Constable McIntyre from the Missing Persons Unit in the police headquarters. How are you?
Constable Doug McIntyre is on the phone to Allan, whose 74-year-old dad's gone missing in a national park west of Sydney.
Would he go into the bush normally to go for a walk?
He was just sort of getting back into it,
okay.
like in the last couple of months.
Allan Kennedy Sr. lived by himself in a caravan park, and he loved nothing more than to go off into the bush for days at a time.
All right. We're going to go up there and speak to the local police, and we'll arrange a search and further investigation of the matter. We'll see you en route to Katoomba and discuss the matter further with you there. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, mate.
It is a concern, a serious concern, because 74, his age may have failed him the last month and a half. He may be overly confident of his ability to go on an extended bushwalk, or he may have come into some misadventure.
Back in the mountains at Katoomba Police Station, Constable Adrian Sharp is on the phone to Jessica Smith's mum.
That's good. Well, just ringing up to let you know that we have found Jessica.
Great.
She appears fine and well. Did you want to speak to her at all?
Yes, please.
I'll just go and get her for you.
Hello.
Hello. Where have you been?
Katoomba.
Jessica still has no idea just how serious this is.
Because I can.
No, you can't. You've had a lot of people worried.
No shit.
Don't talk to me like that, Jess.
Not to mention police from 3 stations looking for her. She's certainly one ungrateful 13-year-old, oblivious to everyone trying to help.
Suppose I'll see you when you get home.
Doug and Senior Constable Pat McEwen are on their way to see bushwalker Allan Kennedy's family.
Hello.
Hi. Madam, my name's Councillor McIntyre.
Hi.
Senior Councillor McEwen for the missing person.
How are you?
Hey, Gavin.
Allan says his dad particularly loved exploring isolated canyons.
He'd spent a bit of time down at Wombian Caves, and he liked it down there. He'd been through the caves a few times, and one of the guides said that Dad should take over doing the guides, and that he's been down there that often type thing.
Yeah, he's been down there a few times.
What was his state of mind when the last time you saw him?
Good.
He had no problems? There's nothing he's worried about?
No.
You mentioned that he may have had some health problems, a heart problem in the past?
Yeah, he had angina and blood pressure.
Allan's in the bush. Without his heart medication, he could be in real trouble.
Maybe had a dizzy spell if it was a warm day and fallen. It's all we can, it's the only thing we can really think of.
That's all we can think of. He's had a fall and that, and he's probably his phone's gone dead, or he hasn't had any reception to call help. Yeah.
Back in Maitland, the search continues for missing dad, Anthony White.
I've just picked up some local police from Maitland. We're going to head down and canvass around the lake and some houses and some shops where Anthony was last seen, and hopefully we can locate him.
Today's search will focus on the local lake where Anthony was last seen just days ago.
He was last sighted on the medium strip, and he's also been sighted on a parallel strip. So just spread out equal distance amongst us and just see if you notice anything and keep staying formation in the line.
This park and the surrounding tracks are well-known haunts for homeless people and drug addicts.
A brother saw him not far, just a short distance away, standing on the medium strip. He's also been seen possibly by police personnel on a road parallel to that. We know that there's walking tracks that only locals use and frequent, so at this point we're just following beside the lake, endeavouring to make it to the walking track that Anthony's possibly using.
What was that 170?
Meanwhile, Pat and Doug are at the caravan park where missing bushwalker Allan Kennedy lived.
How long since you've seen him?
I'm not exactly sure. Probably a couple of weeks.
Allan kept to himself and rarely told anyone whenever he went bushwalking.
He hasn't spoken to anybody, in the area at all. So
He used to always go around the caves and the dams and that. He camp for a fortnight at a time. And
he spoke to you fairly often?
Last time I seen him was when he was here. Last time he was away for about 3 weeks, and he come back for about a week and disappeared again. Yeah. Sure, he's somewhere. Gotta be.
Back in Maitland, while local police continue their search for missing dad Anthony, Leah heads back to Sydney to start another case.
We'll continue looking for Anthony, and hopefully we'll have more sightings once we've put more pictures around, and maybe Anthony himself will see it and it'll make him want to contact his family or contact police, and hopefully we'll get more sightings, but we don't stop until we locate Anthony.
But it's little comfort for Nicole and her 3-month-old Carla.
Anthony, if you're out there watching or anybody's seen Anthony, please come home or contact. Just let us know that you're all right.
Meanwhile, it's the end of a long day for the police who found 13-year-old runaway Jessica Smith.
We're heading down to hopefully take Jessica home and reunite her with her mother. And hopefully she'll stay home. Hey, Jess. Who's going to be having a reunion?
After 5 days and the work of a dozen police, they returned Jessica to her mum.
Silly bugger. You're either got short or I got taller.
You got taller.
How you going?
Excellent now.
Excellent. Hopefully she learned a lesson and stay home. So there may be other agencies maybe contacting you about her,
Mhm.
for docs example, things like
Yep.
that, make sure she's all right and she's staying here and
Yep.
behaving herself.
Yep.
All right.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, good luck in the future and hope she stays put.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later.
After all the trouble she's caused, Caroline hopes that one day Jessica will understand.
I don't think any kid ever realised what they put their parents through until they've actually experienced it as a parent.
Back in the national park, the search for 74-year-old bushwalker Allan Kennedy is well underway.
We're heading up to Flat Top Mountain in the Blue Mountains. Also involved in the search today is the Katoomba Rescue Squad, the 6 personnel from that, going down into the canyon, which we can't go, that's all got to be abseiling. That's expected to take something up to 10 hours, which will be a really thorough search.
The search will fan out from here, above this massive valley where police found Allan's abandoned car.
Where we're going to be going down today is down through that canyon, and can you see those rock outcrops out there at the moment? That's basically, they're probably the prominent lookouts in this area.
Senior Constable Matthew Bryan leads his team to the bottom of the cliff face. For now, all Allan Jr. can do is sit back and watch as police comb this huge area. But Allan reckons no news is good news.
Still hoping that he probably just had a fall on a track and somebody would find him, type thing.
Hopefully we'd find him alive, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Next week, police cover new ground in their search for Allan Kennedy.
It's rough territory, don't you? Built them out and go tailing.
In Queensland, the Defence Force loses one of its best.
He had this top secret security clearance.
It's a military mystery. But is Sean Sargent lost or deep undercover?
And they weren't interested in looking for him. It never made sense to me.
In New South Wales, a family patriarch disappears.
I'm just thinking, he can't go too far. Must be on the corner somewhere.
His desperate niece hits the streets with police.
Going that way.